What is going on, everyone? Leon checking in. And today we're at it again with another video by popular demand. And this is a new video on how to edit video on a Chromebook. And specifically, I'm running the Pixelbook here. Now, this is pretty cool because I've had a lot of people requesting this, and I wanted to do something more in-depth, more detailed. So it just goes to show, if I get enough comments, enough requests for videos like this, I want to go ahead and do them. Now, this means a lot to me too, because I actually take days off just to make videos. I use vacation days from my daytime job just to do things like this. This is how passionate I am about this stuff. So talking about this project, it is more in-depth, more detailed, and if there is anything I miss, which there will always be because there's so much to cover, just leave a comment below and I'll try to answer it, and maybe I'll do another follow-up video of how to edit video on a Chromebook. Now, for reference, again, we're running the Pixelbook. I have 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, and that's on a solid state drive. This is all very important. You want to have a Chromebook that has enough RAM just to get smooth performance, and obviously enough storage, not only for your video clips, but your music clips, any apps, any audio books, any movies that you're gonna wanna put on here. You gotta have space for all of that, so the RAM and the storage is gonna be very critical here. Now, I also wanna say a lot of what you're gonna see in this video, it was screen recorded through a browser extension, through the Chrome browser. So what that means is there is gonna be some lag in the video clips, there's gonna be an echo, that kind of thing, and that has nothing to do with the PowerDirector app. It's just the browser extension screen recorder that I'm using. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first step to editing a video on a Chromebook would be to transfer all your files from your recording device, whatever that may be, to your Chromebook. Now, I already went ahead and did that. I do all my videos on a Pixel 3 XL, and I transfer the files through a USB-C cable to my Pixelbook. So everything's already on here. We're gonna jump into my system folder here, and you can see that we have a category for my files and downloads. And then in this sub menu here, we have some other folders here. But the more important one here is going to be YouTube. This is where I put all my YouTube videos, and it's great to keep things organized in a YouTube folder. So we go ahead and click on that, and then all the folders that would be in the YouTube folder would be all the different video files for all the different videos. So I cleaned this out recently. You can see I have a folder here that's titled 2219. That would be the Simple Human Soap Dispenser, and the 2219 is the date. I like to just have that to keep track of when my videos were made. But if we click on this, you can see that we have all our clips in here. We also have some pictures, images, that kind of thing that will be stored in this folder. So when we go to edit here in a moment, you're going to see all this stuff is going to be very easy to find in PowerDirector. Now, of course, in order to edit video, we are going to need the PowerDirector app, which is available on the Play Store. So you can just do a search for PowerDirector and that'll show up along with other video editors. Now, I use PowerDirector because it's the one that's worked the best for me, and I've been using it for the longest time, so I don't want to switch to anything else. But PowerDirector is free, but it does have in-app purchases. So we're going to close out of here and we're going to jump into PowerDirector, and the app optimizes fairly quickly here. Now we're going to go ahead and click on create a new project to start editing, and we'll give our project a name. And then we'll go ahead and hit OK. Now here we are at the main screen of PowerDirector, and we can go ahead and add our clips to the timeline now by going to our folder that we had created in that YouTube folder. And that's gonna be right here on the left. We'll click on that. All our video clips will show up. Now, the earlier clips that you recorded, they're gonna be to the far right. So this one here is going to be my intro most likely. So we're just gonna touch the plus sign there in the center, and that's gonna add that to the timeline. Now we can use our finger to drag across the timeline here to go to any part of the video. We can also hit a play button at the top right just to play that. And then when we're ready to add a cut, because I want my intro to be not too long, we can just scroll to the part where we would like to make a cut, tap on the timeline there, tap on the cutting tool on the top left here, and that will create a cut. Then we can tap on the portion that was just cut, and we can hit the trash icon. It'll get rid of it. So now, instead of having that moment when I'm not in the video. What is going on, everyone? Leon checking in, and today we're at it again for another video. You can see that this is going to be a quicker intro here. So this is going to be a majority of your video editing. You're going to be cutting and deleting parts of your clip to create smoother videos. Now, before we get into any major cutting for this video clip, we do want to adjust the media volume for it by tapping on the clip itself and then the edit icon on the top left here. And then we can go ahead and select volume. And we're going to want to turn this all the way up. This is going to help you out a lot. When I first started doing YouTube, I never did that. And I would get complaints about my voice not being loud enough. Now, this won't always work, but it's a good thing to do because later on you're going to be adding music possibly, and you want to make sure that your voice is as loud as it can be so you can be heard very well over any music you may add in your YouTube video. So now I went ahead and I cut this clip down quite a bit just to make it smoother to view, so we don't have a lot of awkward moments in our video and it just flows nicely. So if we tap here, we can see all the different places where I cut the video and I deleted out portions, and that cuts time off as well, making your video shorter because you don't want a very long video. Not many people are going to watch to the end. So cutting is going to be probably one of the most important things you're going to do in your video, and it's going to be the most time consuming as well. So now that we did all our cut-in for this video clip, we can go ahead and add another one because obviously this isn't going to be a long enough video. So we're going to hit the icon with the movie logo and music on it. Then we're going to go ahead and click on the Simple Human Compact Sensor Pump file folder there. And then we can add our next clip. Just hit the plus icon, it'll add it to the timeline there. And then we'll do just like we did in the previous clip, and we'll go ahead, cut this, make it as short as possible. And we're just going to be repeating this over and over again until we create a whole video project, and then we can move on to our next steps. So the next thing we may want to do as we cut our clips is to add a picture or a video into the video itself. This is called picture in picture. And we can go ahead and do that by clicking on the box on top of the box icon on the top left here. And then we're going to do an image right now. So we'll click on image. Now we're going to have our folders that we can select from here, but I downloaded an image from my Google Photos. So I'm going to click on restored. And now we have an image here that I want to use of the soap pump. We'll click on that and then click the plus icon. Now, as you can see, that added that right to the timeline there, and we can back out of here and press play and see where it ends up in my video. How much of soap content you have in here. Now, of course, we don't want this to be right over my face, so we could tap on it, we can drag it around here in the video. You can also resize it, make it smaller. You can even make it cover the whole original video if you like, or you can put it back to a smaller size. I generally like to throw these in a corner here, just as examples of what I'm trying to explain. So if you take a look at my timeline here, you can see I did another picture-in-picture feature here, but with a video. So we're going to go ahead and play that so you can see what that looks like. It's going to be very important here too. We've got a little valve here, and it's supposed to be a no-drip valve. So you can see that that looks really good. I might want to expand this clip here just a little bit, just by tapping on it and dragging a little bit, so that it transitions a little bit smoother into the next clip. Now let's go ahead and check that out and see what that looks like. No drip valve. If you're very technical oriented. So you can see that that looked a little bit better. We had a smoother transition. Now the next thing we can do here is we can speed up or slow down our clips. Now at the end of my videos here, I like to do this funny little thing where I spin my chair, but I like to speed it up because I don't want it to take this long here. That would be about 10 seconds of just the chair spinning. So I like to speed it up. So we click on that clip, and then we click on the pencil icon here, and then we click on speed. Now we can go ahead and speed this clip up, and I do it to about double. And you can see here it'll automatically mute the audio, but you don't have to have that. You could unmute it, and you can also ease in and ease out. I leave those alone. But you can see this cut it down to about half of that time. So instead of going to 650, we're going to about 645 and a half. So now when we go to play it, it's going to be sped up here. Now I'm pretty much done editing the main part of the video here, and I'm going to add an end screen. Now I like to keep things very simple, so I just use pictures. So we're going to add 4 pictures here. That's what makes things interesting, because when we actually upload the video to YouTube, you're going to get about 20 seconds or so of an end screen for your end cards. So we're going to look at some of my images here that I have in my restored folder, and we can go ahead and add these. And I like to do these pictures as they were done in this video. So we always start with the box because it hasn't been unboxed yet. And then we can start with some of the contents here. We can add another picture of some of the contents. And then we can add the last image, which would be the unboxing, pretty much complete and set up. So if you look here, each picture displays for about 5 seconds. So you get a 20-second end screen on YouTube for your end cards, which I thought worked perfectly. It's like it was meant to be. But we can go ahead and play this and just see what it looks like. Now, as you can see, some of these images are actually doing some kind of effects here. Some are zooming in, some are zooming out. This can all be altered, but I generally like when the app does it all itself. I don't play with it. Now in PowerDirector, you can add text into your video too. And I want to add text to this clip because I'm about to fill up the automatic soap dispenser, but I didn't say that. So we just want to be a little more clear here. So we're going to click the icon that has the box on top of the box there. And then we can click on title. And you've got quite a few choices here. So it'll be whatever choice you want to pick. But I'm going to go with the assembly line, and we're going to add that in here. Now we can go ahead and click on that. And just like picture in picture, we can drag this around. And we can also click on it again. And then we can add our text in here. So we're just going to keep this simple, and we're going to put on here, now it's time to add the soap. Or we can make it even more simple, time to add soap. Now we can also edit this text even more. So you've got color choices here, you've got an outline if you would like, which I normally do, and you can make that outline pretty big. I normally keep mine to about 2.5 or 3, and then I'll make it with a black outline. That way it stands out a little more. You can also change the size of it if you don't want it to be too big. You can make it larger as well, and then drag it to the place that you feel would be appropriate. Now we do have other options too. We can make the text bold, we can italicize it, we can put it in the center here of where the text block is. We could also center it in the video if we would like, or again, we can just manually drag it wherever. So I'm going to leave the text where it is, but I want to show this, so we're going to play it. Online. Now that may not have been long enough for some users, so we can make this title longer just by dragging it out to whatever we would like. And then we could try and play this again, see what we get. Online. And as you can see, that might be better for most people. Now we can also add stickers to our video by clicking the box on top of the box icon and then clicking sticker. Now these are not just stickers, they're also animations, and these are all the ones I've downloaded, but you can always click the get more icon. Now some of these you are going to have to pay for if you click on them. You have to subscribe to unlock all, and you can see here that we're going to have an in-app purchase. So that is going to be how that works. But you do get free ones here, and we'll just throw one in just to demonstrate what it looks like, and then we'll move it around here. So I'll just drag this right into the corner, place it just like that, and then we can go ahead and play the video here and see what it looks like. So that's pretty straightforward too. Now we can also go ahead and add music. This is kind of boring without the music. So we're gonna click the video and song icon there, and then click music. And I've got a lot of music downloaded from the YouTube audio library. I'm going to put that in the description below, and probably put the link typed in the video here somewhere too, so you could check that out. And I generally pick the same music over and over again so that my intro sounds the same. So we're going to go with Sunday and click the plus icon, and that'll drop that right into the timeline. Now the music, it can overpower your voice, so we're going to want to change the volume here. So what we're going to do is click on that until we get the pencil icon. Click on the pencil icon and then click on the volume, and then we have the slider. And I find anywhere between 3 and 15 is where you want to be if you don't want to sound like your voice is being blocked out by the music. Now if we want to fade into another track, we can also hit fade out, and that will fade out the track at the end. So let's go ahead and give this another try.
What is going on, everyone? Leon checking in. So if you've been following the channel, you know that I bought this automatic soap dispenser a while ago. And again, in that video, I said I know it's just a soap dispenser.
So as you can see, that sounds pretty good. And as we go along, we can add more tracks to fill this all in, and we can cut the track too, just like the clips. So as you can see, we've got a lot of empty space here, so we can go ahead and find a spot where we want to transition to another spot here with the music and with the clip kind of running in sync. And sometimes that can be kind of hard because we don't really line up with anything here, so we may want to go just a little further back to the actual unboxing, or maybe after the unboxing where we explain more in detail what's going on. So I'm going to pick right here because that's where we transition to another scene, and then we can click on the music here. We can perform a cut and then click on the music again and delete it. Now this is going to fade out because we chose that option in the settings for the music here. Now with PowerDirector, we can also add transitions, and this is something I normally don't do, but I want to work on adding more of these in my video. So you can see we've got this box with the thunder icon on it. We can click on that and we can add a transition into our video. So I want to do something like a wipe here, and we're just going to hit the plus icon. That's going to add that to the timeline, and then we can go ahead and see what this looks like. So that's going to make a nice little transition from one scene to the next. And you could do this in all these different clips if you like to. You probably don't want to overdo it, but this is another cool feature in PowerDirector. Now I will say the transition was slow for my taste, so we're going to go ahead and click on the time icon on the top right here, and we can change the transition duration and make it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to go with 1 second and see what that looks like. Well, that was a little bit faster, but I think we can do better than that. We're going to go down to about ½ a second and see what we get. So that was definitely a lot better. Now that we're finished with our project, we can go ahead and produce our video by clicking on this icon in the bottom right corner with the arrow on it. And then we could save to the gallery or the SD card. Now I have tried full HD in the past and I've had some issues, so I generally use just HD, and a lot of times you can't really tell. But I'm going to try full HD again coming up soon and see how that works. But for the time being, we're just going to produce in HD and click that icon. Now, depending on the length of your video, this could work pretty slow or pretty fast. It could take 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. And this video here will probably take a few minutes to just complete. Okay, so that is pretty much the sum of this video. As we wrap up here, if you have any comments, any questions, anything like that, drop those below so I can go ahead and answer those. Now this is going to be very important because Chromebooks are always getting better. So if we get any of those comments, there are going to be new changes with the Chromebook. There's going to be new changes in the app. Sometimes the app does glitch, and that could be an issue too. So if you have any glitches, any problems, mention those below. I'll tell you if I've had those as well, and we can go through and talk about it, and other people can see also, because there's a lot of people that have Chromebooks that don't know you can do this or aren't sure of which app to pick. There are also people who don't have Chromebooks and they don't know if they should get one because maybe they want to do content creation or little projects for high school or college or for a business setting. So those comments are going to be very, very critical. I try to read them all. Try to make sure that we spell good too, because some comments I read and I can't answer them because I'm not really sure what's being asked, but I do want to answer them if I can. Now, if you enjoyed this video and found it useful, make sure to leave a like. Now, this channel does a lot of tech videos too, some unboxings. I have an Amazon storefront, and I'm going to put that in the description below so you can go ahead and check that out. If you get anything off of my Amazon storefront, it'll support the channel. You can also support the channel by sharing this video and all my other videos with anyone who may be interested in this kind of stuff. Last but not least, you can also support the channel by hitting that subscribe button. That'll help us out just as much, if not more. And until next time, Leon checking out.